Musk, Trump, and the fight against the deep state and DEI. Introduction. In early 2025, shortly after Donald Trump was inaugurated for a second term, he and Elon Musk unveiled a radical plan aimed at reshaping the federal workforce in the United States. This initiative was characterized by a concerted effort to dismantle what they termed the deep state and to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs that had been implemented under the previous administration. The ramifications of this initiative have sparked intense debate regarding its implications for governance, civil service, and the political landscape of the U.S. Timeline of events. January 20, 2025. Trump is inaugurated and begins implementing significant changes to federal operations. January 29, 2025, Trump announces a controversial offer to federal employees: voluntary resignation with full pay until September 30, 2025, or remain under heightened expectations and no job security. February 2, 2025, reports surface of federal workers being placed on administrative leave, particularly those involved in DEI initiatives. Trump signs an executive order banning all federal DEI programs. Purging DEI programs. At the heart of the Trump administration's strategy is a systematic purging of DEI programs. Employees who played a role in these initiatives received notices of administrative leave, with some facing potential firing. This move has been described as unprecedented and retaliatory by many within the federal workforce. Critics argue that dismantling DEI programs undermines efforts to create a diverse and representative federal workforce. The executive order signed by Trump effectively halted federal DEI programs, prompting immediate actions across various agencies. The State Department's Foreign Service Institute suspended access to training materials related to DEI, and the IRS removed mentions of diversity, equity, and inclusion from its procedural handbook. The implications of these actions were significant, as they threatened to reverse years of progress toward a more inclusive government. The role of Musk. Elon Musk's involvement in this initiative is particularly noteworthy, as he was appointed to lead the newly established Department of Government Efficiency (DOGE). Musk's vision aligns with Trump's desire for a government that prioritizes political loyalty and effectiveness. However, Musk and the tech right advocate for a government that fosters innovation and efficiency, suggesting a divergence in their motivations and ultimate goals. Musk's ambition includes a radical transformation of federal operations, invoking a need for a reverse FDR approach to governance. His team views the federal bureaucracy as bloated and inefficient, advocating for sweeping changes that would reshape the federal workforce. The announcement of DOGE was met with skepticism in Washington, given the historical challenges of overhauling the federal government. Diverging goals. While both Trump and Musk share a common enemy in the entrenched federal bureaucracy, their goals diverge significantly. Trump's focus is largely on eliminating checks on his power and retaliating against perceived opponents, while Musk and the tech right emphasize building a government that can foster innovation and achieve ambitious goals. This raises critical questions about the sustainability of their alliance and whether their differing motivations will ultimately lead to conflict. Cultural and political climate. The political climate surrounding the Trump administration's actions is marked by fear and confusion among federal employees. Many express concerns that the purge is designed to create a workforce loyal solely to Trump, thereby undermining the apolitical nature of civil service. Federal employees have been encouraged to report colleagues involved in DEI work, leading to an increasingly hostile atmosphere within government agencies. The drastic measures taken by the administration have created a chilling effect, with many employees fearing for their jobs and the future of their careers. The perceived retaliatory nature of the actions has led to a heightened sense of anxiety among those who have dedicated their careers to public service. Long-term implications. The long-term implications of these actions could reshape the federal workforce and governance in the U.S. The restructuring efforts not only impact current employees but also set a precedent for future administrations concerning the treatment of civil servants and the role of DEI initiatives in federal operations. The dismantling of DEI programs raises critical concerns about the future of representation and inclusivity in government. Critics argue that these actions could lead to a more politicized civil service, where loyalty to the president supersedes the need for a competent and diverse workforce. The potential erosion of the apolitical nature of civil service poses significant risks to the integrity and functionality of government institutions. Media perspectives. Different media outlets have reported on these developments, reflecting various perspectives. Vox emphasizes the ideological motivations behind the purge, highlighting the potential clash between Trump's authoritarian tendencies and Musk's business-oriented approach to governance. The Guardian focuses on personal accounts from federal employees affected by the DEI purge, underscoring the emotional and professional toll of these actions. CNN provides a general overview of the events and their implications, emphasizing the unprecedented nature of the Trump administration's actions. Conclusion. The collaboration between Musk and Trump marks a significant shift in federal governance, characterized by aggressive purging of DEI initiatives and a dramatic overhaul of the federal workforce. This initiative raises critical questions about the future of civil service, the balance of power within the U.S. government, and the implications for diversity and representation in federal operations. As the landscape continues to evolve, the actions taken by this administration will likely have lasting effects on the governance and political climate in the United States. The content presents a complex narrative regarding the collaboration between Donald Trump and Elon Musk in reshaping the federal workforce, particularly targeting DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Here are several counterintuitive points that emerge from the discussion. 1. Collaboration of disparate motivations. While both Trump and Musk are aligned against what they term the deep state, their motivations for overhauling government differ significantly. Trump's focus is on consolidating power and eliminating political opposition, whereas Musk's agenda is rooted in a vision of efficiency and innovation. This divergence raises questions about the sustainability of their partnership. 2. Destruction versus construction. The narrative suggests that Musk, often seen as a forward-thinking innovator, is participating in an administration that seeks to dismantle existing structures rather than build new ones. This contrasts sharply with Musk's public persona as a builder of ambitious projects like SpaceX and Tesla, presenting a paradox of a tech visionary engaging in a political strategy centered around purging rather than reforming. 3. Perception of DEI programs. The administration frames the dismantling of DEI initiatives as a necessary step to eliminate waste and promote efficiency. However, critics argue that these programs are essential for creating a representative and effective workforce. This presents a counterintuitive scenario where an administration's pursuit of efficiency could inadvertently lead to a less capable federal workforce, contradicting their stated goals. For political loyalty versus meritocracy, the administration's actions indicate a preference for political loyalty over merit-based hiring, which runs counter to the tech rights rhetoric about valuing talent and innovation. Musk and his allies advocate for a government that prizes merit, yet the current strategy seems to prioritize loyalty to Trump, leading to a potential conflict between the ideals of innovation and the practicalities of governance under a politically loyal workforce. 5. Long-term implications of purges. While the immediate goal appears to be the removal of employees associated with DEI initiatives, the long-term implications of such purges could result in a weakened civil service that undermines effective governance. This outcome contradicts the purported aim of enhancing governmental efficiency, suggesting that the actions taken may have unintended consequences that hinder the very objectives they claim to support. 6. Fear as a governance tool. The administration's strategy appears to create an atmosphere of fear among federal employees, compelling them to choose between resignation and uncertain job security. This tactic, while effective in achieving short-term compliance, may lead to a demoralized workforce that is less innovative and committed, which is counterproductive to Musk's vision of a more efficient government. 7. Changing nature of the bureaucracy. The efforts to reshape the federal workforce challenge the traditional understanding of the civil service's role as an impartial entity. By prioritizing political loyalty and targeting specific programs, the administration risks transforming the civil service into an apparatus that is no longer dedicated to serving the public impartially, which is a fundamental shift from its historical function. 8. Tech rights disruption narrative. The tech right, including figures like Musk, touts a narrative of disruption and innovation. However, their collaboration with Trump, who seeks to dismantle rather than innovate, raises questions about the authenticity of their claims. It suggests a potential hypocrisy in advocating for a meritocratic and innovative government while engaging in practices that undermine these principles. In summary, the collaboration between Trump and Musk reveals a complex interplay of ideology, motivation, and governance strategy that challenges conventional narratives about efficiency, loyalty, and the role of DEI initiatives in federal service. The counterintuitive aspects of their actions suggest a potential misalignment between their stated goals and the outcomes of their policies. In the report on the collaboration between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, focusing on their efforts to reshape the federal workforce and dismantle DEI initiatives, several key points emerge that are significant yet may easily be overlooked by many readers. Here are the crucial elements of the report, their implications, and why they merit further attention. 1. The purging of DEI programs. The Trump administration's immediate actions to ban DEI programs signal a broader ideological shift regarding workplace diversity and inclusion at the federal level. While many may view this as merely a political maneuver, its significance lies in the potential long-term consequences for the federal workforce. The purging of DEI initiatives contradicts decades of progress toward ensuring a diverse and inclusive work environment, which not only benefits marginalized groups but also enhances organizational effectiveness. The dismantling of these programs may lead to a less representative federal workforce that fails to serve the diverse population of the United States effectively. 2. The role of Elon Musk in DOGE. Musk's leadership of the newly established Department of Government Efficiency DOGE represents an intersection of technology and governance that many people might not fully appreciate. Musk's vision of a radically efficient government challenges traditional bureaucratic structures, promoting a model that prioritizes loyalty and innovation over established civil service norms. This shift could fundamentally alter the nature of public service, prioritizing political allegiance over professional merit. Musk's approach emphasizes a tech-centric view of governance, suggesting a future where government functions more like a tech startup, potentially sidelining experienced civil servants in favor of politically loyal appointees. 3. Cultural and political climate in federal agencies. The atmosphere of fear and confusion among federal employees is a significant yet often overlooked aspect of this report. The push for employees to report on their colleagues working in DEI initiatives creates a toxic work environment that undermines trust and collaboration. Such actions can lead to a chilling effect where employees are reluctant to engage in any initiatives that may be perceived as politically sensitive or controversial. This undermines the foundational principle of a nonpartisan civil service, which is essential for effective governance. 4. Long-term implications for civil service. The implications of these actions extend far beyond immediate personnel changes. The restructuring of the federal workforce could set a precedent for future administrations regarding how civil servants are treated and the extent to which political loyalty is prioritized over professional qualifications. This could lead to a cycle of instability in federal agencies where each new administration enacts sweeping changes, eroding institutional knowledge and continuity. 5. The divergence of goals between Trump and Musk. Although both Trump and Musk share a common goal of reducing the size and influence of the federal bureaucracy, their motivations and long-term visions diverge significantly. Trump's agenda is rooted in consolidating power and eliminating checks on his authority, while Musk and the tech right advocate for a more innovative and meritocratic government. This divergence raises questions about the sustainability of their alliance and whether it will lead to conflicting policies that could destabilize the administration's objectives. 6. Use of the Office of Personnel Management (OPM). The transformation of the OPM into a tool for political control is a significant shift that may go unnoticed. Historically, the OPM has served as a neutral body overseeing civil service employment. However, its current function under the Trump administration represents a concerning trend where bureaucratic offices are repurposed to serve political ends. This not only undermines the integrity of civil service but also invites more politicized decision-making into processes that should be impartial. 7. Historical context of government restructuring efforts. The report references the historical context of government restructuring efforts, particularly the rhetoric surrounding the need to deconstruct the administrative state. While many may dismiss this as a fringe ideology, understanding its roots in conservative thought highlights a broader political movement aiming to fundamentally alter the relationship between government and its employees. This perspective can reshape public expectations about government functionality and accountability. 8. Potential backlash and resistance. Finally, while the Trump-Musk initiative appears to have significant momentum, the potential for backlash and organized resistance among federal employees and labor unions is critical. The report mentions the possibility of affected employees banding together, which could lead to legal challenges and public outcry against these policies. Such resistance may serve as a bellwether for broader societal attitudes toward government reform, especially concerning issues of representation and equity. Conclusion. The collaboration between Trump and Musk represents a fundamental shift in the approach to governance in the United States, with implications that extend beyond immediate policy changes. Their actions challenge long-standing norms regarding civil service diversity and the role of government. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for anticipating the future of federal governance and civil service in America. The report highlights the potential for significant repercussions both for federal employees and for the public they serve, warranting careful scrutiny and engagement from all stakeholders involved in the democratic process. 1. Purging DEI programs, the Trump administration's systematic dismantling of diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI programs represents a significant ideological shift in federal governance. The targeting of employees involved in these initiatives raises concerns about the implications for diversity within the federal workforce and the potential normalization of retaliatory actions against civil servants. Critics argue that this move undermines the progress made towards creating a representative government and could lead to a less effective federal service that does not reflect the diversity of the American populace. 2. The role of Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE. Elon Musk's involvement in leading the newly established DOGE illustrates the intersection of technology and governance. His vision for a leaner, more efficient federal government aligns with the broader tech right's critique of existing bureaucratic structures. Musk's approach, however, raises questions about the balance between efficiency and accountability, as well as the implications for civil service protections. The potential for a reverse FDR strategy indicates a radical transformation of governance that prioritizes meritocratic ideals over traditional civil service norms. 3. Diverging goals of Trump and Musk, despite their collaboration. Trump and Musk's objectives diverge significantly. Trump's focus on consolidating power and eliminating checks on his authority contrasts with Musk's interest in fostering innovation and operational effectiveness. This discrepancy raises critical questions about the sustainability of their alliance and the potential for conflict as their respective agendas unfold. The tension between Trump's authoritarian tendencies and Musk's entrepreneurial mindset could lead to friction in the implementation of their shared goals. For cultural and political climate within the federal workforce, the atmosphere of fear and uncertainty created by the Trump administration's actions has profound implications for the federal workforce. Employees are increasingly concerned about their job security and the politicization of their roles, which could lead to a culture of compliance rather than one focused on public service. The encouragement of reporting on colleagues involved in DEI work fosters a hostile environment and threatens the apolitical nature of civil service. These developments signal a troubling shift in the relationship between federal employees and the executive branch, potentially diminishing trust in government institutions. These points offer a foundation for deeper analysis and discussion regarding the implications of Trump's and Musk's actions on the future of governance in the U.S., the role of diversity in federal employment, and the broader cultural shifts within public service. 1. The purge of the federal workforce under Richard Nixon. 1970s. One of the most notable instances of a political leader attempting to reshape the federal workforce occurred during Richard Nixon's presidency. Following his election in 1968, Nixon initiated a series of actions aimed at reducing the size of the federal workforce and purging those he deemed politically disloyal. This included the controversial Saturday Night Massacre, where Nixon fired several key officials in the Justice Department in an attempt to halt the Watergate investigation. The political climate was charged, and Nixon's actions were perceived as an effort to consolidate power and eliminate opposition, paralleling the themes of loyalty and control seen in the current efforts by Trump and Musk. 2. The McCarthy era and the Red Scare. 1950s. The Red Scare, particularly during the early 1950s, represents a historical case where government actions were taken to root out perceived subversive elements within the federal workforce and society at large. Senator Joseph McCarthy led a campaign against alleged communists in the government, entertainment, and other sectors, resulting in widespread fear, loyalty oaths, and blacklisting. This era was characterized by a concerted effort to eliminate those who were seen as ideologically opposed to the prevailing political order, similar to the current targeting of DEI programs and federal employees under the current administration. 3. The Cultural Revolution in China. 1966 to 1976. Under Mao Zedong, the Cultural Revolution sought to purge capitalist and traditional elements from Chinese society and impose socialist ideology. This campaign led to widespread persecution of intellectuals and those associated with the previous government structures, often labeled as counter-revolutionaries. The Cultural Revolution's tactics of targeting specific groups for ideological conformity and loyalty resonate with the contemporary narrative of purging federal employees associated with DEI initiatives, as both movements sought to reshape institutions in line with a dominant political ideology. Future outlook: Musk-Trump and the fight against the deep state and DEI. 1. Transformation of the federal workforce. The collaboration between Elon Musk and Donald Trump signifies a radical shift in how the U.S. federal workforce is structured and managed. By 2026, we can expect the federal government to be significantly leaner, with a workforce that is not only reduced in numbers but also reoriented towards ideological loyalty rather than traditional civil service principles. This transformation could lead to an environment where future administrations may adopt similar tactics, thus establishing a precedent for politicizing federal employment. 2. Impact on diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI initiatives. The dismantling of DEI programs is likely to have long-term repercussions on the federal workforce's representation and effectiveness. By 2027, as organizations attempt to fill positions previously occupied by DEI advocates, we may see a decline in diversity within federal agencies. Critics argue that this could hinder the ability of these agencies to serve a diverse population effectively, ultimately leading to a backlash that may prompt future administrations to revive some form of DEI initiatives, albeit under different names or frameworks. 3. Rise of the tech right. Musk's influence through initiatives like the Department of Government Efficiency (DOGE) could herald the rise of a tech right that prioritizes efficiency, innovation, and a merit-based bureaucracy. By 2028, we might witness a government increasingly modeled after corporate structures, where data-driven decision-making and technological solutions become the norm. This could lead to a more agile federal government, capable of rapid responses to crises, but also one that may lack the emotional intelligence and empathy historically associated with public service. 4. Political polarization and civil service. The current environment may deepen political polarization within the civil service. By 2029, we could see a federal workforce divided between those loyal to the current administration and those who resist these changes. This could lead to increased tensions and a lack of continuity in governance, as civil servants may feel pressured to align their views with those of political appointees. The challenge will be maintaining the integrity of civil service while navigating this politicized landscape. 5. Public trust in governance. As the public witnesses the aggressive restructuring of federal agencies, trust in government institutions could erode further. By 2030, if the public perceives that the government operates primarily as a tool for political loyalty rather than public service, we may see a significant decline in civic engagement and trust. This could lead to greater calls for reform, potentially spawning movements advocating for the restoration of independent civil service protections. 6. The role of technology in governance. With Musk at the helm of DOGE, we may see increased integration of technology into federal operations. By 2031, the government could leverage artificial intelligence and big data to streamline processes, enhance efficiency, and improve transparency. However, this reliance on technology raises concerns about data privacy and ethical governance, leading to potential regulatory frameworks aimed at protecting citizens' rights amidst technological advancements. 7. Potential backlash and reform movements. As the ramifications of the current administration's policies unfold, grassroots movements advocating for the protection of civil service and the reinstatement of DEI initiatives may gain momentum. By 2032, we could witness a resurgence of public interest in government accountability, pushing for reforms that reinforce the nonpartisan nature of civil service. This could result in a political realignment as citizens demand a federal workforce that reflects the nation's diversity and values. 8. The future of political alliances. The alliance between Musk and Trump may face challenges as their goals diverge. By 2033, if the tech rights vision for a more efficient government clashes with Trump's authoritarian tendencies, we could see fissures within the conservative movement. This could lead to the emergence of new political factions that prioritize different aspects of governance, potentially reshaping the landscape of American politics. 9. Global implications. The changes initiated by Trump and Musk could influence global perceptions of the U.S. government. By 2034, allies and adversaries alike may reassess their diplomatic strategies in light of a U.S. government that prioritizes efficiency and loyalty over traditional democratic norms. This could lead to shifts in international relations, with other countries either emulating this model or distancing themselves from the U.S. as a cautionary tale. 10. Conclusion. The future of the federal workforce under the influence of Musk and Trump is poised to be turbulent and transformative. As we move into the latter half of the decade, the implications of their actions will reverberate through the fabric of American governance, affecting everything from civil service principles to public trust in government institutions. The challenge will be navigating this landscape while ensuring that the core values of democracy, representation, and public service remain intact amidst these sweeping changes.